Hey everybody, welcome back to more Super Mario Bros. 3 in the last episode. Sorry, I was just making sure we were recording. Okay. We went through World 4, Big Island, and in this episode we're going to go through World 5, The Sky. Yes, it's literally called The Sky, even though we're not in the sky currently. We will be in a second, so spoiler. I should mention that if I'm mentioning these names and they sound weird to someone who's played Mario 3, it's because I'm using the Japanese names for these worlds, because in North America, these worlds were just localized to just have the name land. Like, for example, well, World 1 stayed the same because World 1 has always just been grassland. But Desert Hill, World 2, became Desert Land here in the United States. World 3, Oceanside, became Waterland here in the United States. And Big Island became Giant Land, and I didn't mean to go there because I didn't want to do this, but you know what? It's fine. But yeah, though, if it wasn't obvious, the reason I'm using the Japanese names is because they sound way better. I mean, would you guys rather play through Waterland or Oceanside? I mean, come on. Oh, now this level is legitimately cool. If you go up here, you can actually beat the level in a matter of seconds, but I kind of want to go down here because I want to show, because this is legitimately one of my favorite looking levels in the entire game. I called this level the Emerald Caves. Because look at that! This looks super cool. This is legitimately a place I would want to visit in real life. Like, come on! Look how cool this looks. And it makes me dislike the All-Stars version even more because, like I said, in the All-Stars version and every subsequent like SNES-style re-release for this game, just replaces it with generic dirt tiles, and it's lame. I don't like it. It's so much better in the NES version. Still, short and sweet level, not too big, but holy cow does that look so awesome. Tell me you would not just want to go there and just gawk at the walls. Alright. So here we're going to go on and continue here. We're going to go on to level 3 of the sky. And if you're wondering, the North American name for the sky is Skyland. Which, I mean, both equally kind of the same name. But I don't know. I'm going to keep using the Japanese names for these worlds. Just because, like I said, they're better than North America. And you could probably... I don't have to tell you what the North American versions of the names are because you could probably guess just by looking at the world because it's just going to be Adjective Land. So, yeah. Here we got a new power-up that's only exclusive to this one level, which is the Goomba Shoe, or later in game, known as in later games the Kuribu Shoe, because if you guys didn't know, the Japanese name for Goomba is Kuribu. And they were actually named off of the Japanese version, the Japanese name. The only way to get the shoe is to jump from under the Goomba and actually stun him out of the shoe. If you jump on the Goomba, it will actually just kill the shoe with it. So yeah, it was called Kuribu Shoe even in the US, which, again, it would just roughly translate to Goomba Shoe, so Goomba Shoe is still correct. Now, what I find kind of funny, a history that I have with the name Kuribu Shoe, is that in the Mario... Oh, shoot. I should have let the Goomba come out here. Dang it. In the Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, which is what it's called, I'm not making that up, is that they made a lot of mistakes in the production of all 3 of the Mario shows, I am aware. But there's this one that will always stick with me, and it's because it's the funniest one, is that they it sounds so simple, but they misspelled or like mispronounced Kuribu Shoe as Karubi Shoe in the cartoon. And that doesn't sound like it would be that big of a deal, but in the episode Super Koopa, which is the final episode of the show, they write a song for the final battle talking about the Kuribu Shoe. And throughout the entire song, they're calling it Karubi. And it's just so funny.
This Karubi Clodhopper may be just the thing. I don't believe it. Karubi Koopa.
It can't stop. It can't stop. It can't do more than walk. My Karubi.
Alright, I left a bit of dead space there so you can actually listen to the song. It is so funny that they sound so confident, yet they're just unknowingly mispronouncing the name so badly. It's hilarious. Again, simple mistake, but oh my god, is it funny. Like I said, it's those shows are no stranger to... crap, I keep getting hit. They're no stranger to having those screw-ups because there's tons of those types of screw-ups, especially in the Mario 3 show. For some reason, I don't know why, but I don't know if it was a lower budget or whatever, but the Mario 3 show has infinitely more mistakes than the Super Show or the Super Mario World cartoon. And yes, you can tell I'm a Mario nerd because I've watched all three of those shows religiously when I was a kid. And I still rewatch them to this day. And I'm going to have to fight one of those Hammer Brothers where I like them, unless I have a music box, which it doesn't look like I do, so here we go. Like, there's a lot of, like, it happens in all three of the shows. Well, actually, I don't think it happens in Mario World cartoon as much, but in Mario Super Show, it happens a few times, but it happens a lot in the Mario 3 show where a character will be talking and they're either going to be lip-synced to the wrong character, or they're not going to be moving their mouth at all, like in this scene from Oh Brother.
Fix your own leaky plumbing, you Koopa crackpot! I'll never help you! What?
Mario's clearly speaking to Koopa, but he doesn't move his mouth, so it makes it look like he's just thinking that without actually yelling at him. Which is what I interpreted it as a kid. Whenever they would make mistakes like that, if they weren't moving their mouth, I would always interpret it as, oh, they're just thinking that, but they're not actually saying it. Or, I knew they were supposed to be saying it as a kid, but I interpreted it that way because it was less weird. Or, if it was another character, if it was lip-synced to a different character by mistake, I would always interpret it as, oh, they're mocking them. I don't know, mistakes like that in those old cartoons are super funny. Actually, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, I had to go do something real quick, but I'm back now. I saw the windows outside. It's actually really raining really nice. It's actually the perfect atmosphere to be playing an old NES game right now. And that level doesn't end with a traditional card. Instead, it gets us to the other half of the level, which I thought was super cool, having like a transitional level like that. That's one of my favorite parts of this game. And these levels, as you can probably see, they're going to be mostly sky levels, which is where the name The Sky came from. So yeah, we're literally in the heavens. Platforms, some of them will be static and lean, depending on where you're standing, and some of them will be just spinning, which will just either make you go high or drop you down low. It's random, so you just want to be careful, and shoot. I don't think I've explained the paratroopers, but it was inconsistent in the first game, but starting in this game, green-shelled paratroopers would just jump around, red-shelled paratroopers just fly normally. It's common knowledge now, but it was the first time it happened in this game, so I thought I'd mention it. And here's another one of those interesting power-up levels where if you get a raccoon tail and whack these blocks here, you have to be a raccoon, otherwise you can't get this. And you get another Tanuki suit. Now, be careful because there's a raccoon leaf in one of these blocks, and if you collect that, that will overwrite your Tanuki suit, so you don't want to collect that. That is if you want to keep the Tanuki suit. I mean, it's a cool suit and a cool power-up and all, but I mostly just, use them the same way. I don't really use the whole ground pound thing at all, unless it's to kill the Roto Discs, which is the only thing that they're effective against. And here we have a very unique stage, actually. It's an auto-scroller, but these enemies, Parabuzzies, they're not actually just as lame as Buzzy Beetles, but with wings. No, they actually have different properties. You can land on them, and you won't kill them. Instead, they serve as platforms. If you keep jumping on them, they'll go lower and lower and lower. If you just stand on them, they will fly higher. Which, I always liked that gimmick, because they went to use it again in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. which that level it can get really annoying, especially if you're going for the star coins, but it's inoffensive enough. And I don't know, I always just like those types of levels. I want to go down here. And wah! And that makes us have 55 lives in World 5. So 555. And I kind of want to skip that end card because I don't want to waste time. Instead, I'm going to go to level 7, which is infinitely easier than level 6. Got those block hoppers here. I never explained them, but they're... the way to tell they're different from normal blocks is that normal brick blocks will have that little shine animation, and those block hoppers don't. They'll just have static. So just in case you want to differentiate, which you probably do because, I don't know, kind of like playing D&D, getting just hunted down by a mimic. I've been playing a lot of D&D with my friend recently, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been having a bit of a blast with that. Shoot. Lava is an insta-kill, even with the star. Shouldn't have to mention that, but just in case I do... Ooh, I'm gonna die! Momentum was too unkind there. Nah. I don't know if I've used a power-up besides a star. I don't really count the star as using a power-up because I only use it to get the Hammer Brothers out of the way. But on a regular stage, I don't really like to use the power-ups all that much just because I kind of just like the challenge of it, I guess. But it's a cool system. Pretty much just like if you played New Super Mario Bros. Wii, it works the same way. Before you go into a level, you can choose the power-up you want. You can hold pretty much any power-up in the game. But, just like in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, using a star is pretty much useless unless it's a small level where you could just, like, it's an enemy rush because, I mean, I don't think any level is designed where there's tons of enemies in the beginning and then there's just easy for the rest of the level. There's a few levels where I would think that using a star is useful at the beginning, but not a lot. Anyways, another just normal vanilla platforming cloud level, so there's that. There's Lakitu here as well. Now, unlike in the first game where his throws were actually bugged and they didn't throw correctly, instead he would always throw behind Mario. They fixed that bug in this game and now he throws at an arc in front of Mario, so they actually become a more prominent threat. Still not a hard level, though. Now, this level is actually really unique because it's the only level in the game that scrolls diagonally. I saw a Retro Game Mechanics Explained video the other day that explained how they actually managed to make the auto-scrolling work in this game for certain levels, because this is the first Mario game that introduced vertically climbing levels among the... Well, actually, no. That belongs to Mario 2. Never mind. Yeah, Mario 2 is the first one to have vertically based stages. Or at least, like, parts of the game. Not all stages were vertically... Oh, dang it. But this was the first to do it as a smooth transition rather than having vertical stages that... are screens that you have to move over and like freeze the game to continue on, like in Zelda. And they actually pretty much made it so that anything that's off screen is entirely unloaded. I think that's how this works. I might be thinking of something different, I don't know. But from what I remember, that's how this works. That's why I died right over there, because that platform below me despawned. Actually, that might not be how it works. Never mind. I might be just spewing here, but... if you do see like those glitches on the edge of the screen where blocks are colored differently and all that, it's due to that because the scrolling mechanics. And here we are to the castle, or the airship. And another, there's a pterodactyl. And this is colored normally for some reason. It's all brown now. Alright. Here we go. Now this level can actually drag on for a little bit, so we might be in for quite a long one here. Those turny things won't ever shoot in the 4 directions that it points. It will only ever shoot in 2 directions at once, so you don't have to worry about them too much. Oh, shoot. Sometimes if they shoot under you, they'll actually like act as if you jumped on them, but other times they'll act as if they hit you, so you want to be careful with those. And Roy, which is actually really dangerous because every time he lands, he will shake the ground and it will stun you. So you want to jump every single time he lands on the ground. If you know to do that, should be no problem. And he has a double beard. It like divides. That's kind of cool. And next time on Mario 3, we're going to go to one of the other levels I really like, Iceland. See you guys next time.